This video is about E3 2017. E3 2017 is interesting because I didn't really get what I wanted. I know a lot of people have like a checklist of what they want for Christmas, or a wish list what they want for Christmas, and I didn't get that really. I mean, I wanted to see Last of Us 2. I wanted to see Final Fantasy 7. More of that, if not a release date. I wanted to see Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, which we got a trailer, and the minute of the trailer next month. But I mean, I really wanted to see. I guess more of those games. There's a lot of other ones too. A lot of people were expecting some news about another Tomb Raider, or wanted news about a new Tomb Raider. Just a lot of things we did not see. We didn't see a lot of things that we wanted. So I understand it. I understand your frustration. I think probably the whole event in general was kind of like there's some cool stuff there. I think really starting from the beginning, I didn't watch every conference. I watched the EA conference, and that was a pretty good conference actually. They had some interesting stuff to show. If you're really into sports games, that was a really a good conference for you. I'm not so much into sports games. The new Need for Speed looks pretty cool. I might get that, but other than that, not a whole lot that was super interesting. Besides that, let me back up. It was Need for Speed and it was Anthem that looked really really cool. So I am really really stoked about that game. But those are the only two from EA that I was really excited about. Overall, the press conference was pretty decent. I heard the Ubisoft show was amazing. I didn't watch that one. I watched the Microsoft showing. That was pretty cool. I think the Microsoft showing was pretty cool. I think that the Xbox One X is a cool system. It's a great value for people that have never bought any of the systems at all. So I think it's definitely a good value in terms of like a 4K box that can do 4K 60 FPS. I think that's a good value if you haven't jumped in on anything. Like you just have, you just have an Xbox One, and you don't want to go to PC gaming, and you want something more powerful for your 4K TV. This is a great. I mean, $500 is I guess steep, but I mean for what you're getting, from a tech perspective, it's kind of worth it. But I think the main thing is like what games will be able to push anything interesting on it. So I think that's something that we'll have to kind of be. We're all going to be waiting for and trying to see what it can do. But from a flat out value for performance standpoint, it's a fantastic purchase because you can't build a gaming PC that in terms of like raw specs that would completely trash it. I mean, you could build a game. I mean, easily a high end game PC could beat the One X. I'll refer to it as the One X. It could beat the One X, but because its GPU is in the ballpark equivalent of a 1070. And 1070, 1080 to a degree, that's a pretty good. That cards cost $400, and this whole thing's $500. So I mean, it costs you probably $1,500 to build a gaming PC. In total, that was high end. That just soundly defeated. That would soundly defeat an X1. So I mean, or One X. I'll get this straight eventually. But other than that, I mean, it's like. It's not bad. It's not a bad value. I think if you just want to buy your games, pop them in there, and they play, it's a great. I think it's a great purchase depending on your circumstances and what you got going on. But it's definitely worth checking out. I think that the Metroid Prime 4 announcement at the Nintendo stream was pretty cool. I think that's my biggest thing right there. I was like, wow. I don't have a 3DS because I had another Metroid game. They are Samus's Return. That looks really cool. I'm probably going to buy a 3DS now. I kind of was on the fence about it for a while. And I hadn't really been into Nintendo stuff for probably maybe like 7 years. So this might be a good jumping back in point for me. And I'm going to probably buy Switch too. So I mean, they finally have games that I want to play. And I'm not really into Mario per se. Kirby's cool. I might check the new Kirby game. I like Zelda, but I'm not like a rabid fan. I mean, well, let me back up. I like Zelda, but I'm not like I have to play every game and know everything about it kind of person. So I will probably get Breath of the Wild when I get my Switch later this year. But yeah, I'm gonna get 3DS. I am gonna get a Switch, just mainly from that press conference because there's new Metroid games coming out, and I'm definitely gonna play all those. Um, but rolling back to the Sony press conference on Sunday, um, that was an interesting press conference. I've got to skip it around on press conferences, but that was an interesting press conference because I mean it was kind of like it was very by the numbers to me. It was very by the numbers because it didn't really do anything that was like stand out to me. It was just like, well, here's our games. This is what we got going, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but of course, like I said before, I didn't hear about Final Fantasy or didn't get release date for Kingdom Hearts 3, which most people in the comments are like, you're never going to hear that ever, Nathan, ever, But I think that I really wanted to see that really badly. Like Last of Us 2 gameplay, I wanted to see it. They did comment about it while I wasn't there. They wanted Uncharted Last Legacy to kind of have the spotlight. I understand it, and from a marketing perspective, I agree with it. But I still wanted to at least maybe get some hype, some 4K screens, and and they're gonna say, well, we're gonna have more information this year about the game. All I had. I mean, that's all they could give me. I would have just gone. I would have been happy with that, but I didn't get that. So, but I mean, I got more surprises really out of the Nintendo press conference or stream, Treehouse stream than really any other conferences. Because everything else was kind of by the numbers. It was like either sequels or it was, And then again, Metroid Prime 4 is a sequel too. But I mean, it's like, we haven't had a Metroid Prime game for what 2 console generations. So it's like, it's really cool, that they're gonna have another Metroid Prime game. And there's a new Metroid Prime game coming out on 3DS, so that's really cool to me. And a Pokemon game coming to the Switch, so it's like, yeah, I think I'll go back on the Nintendo trim wagon again. So I'm excited about Nintendo stuff again, which I haven't been for a long time. Sony's press conference, in my opinion, was very dry and kind of by the numbers. They did have some interesting things with new Monster Hunter, but that's going to be multi-platform. So that's not really like a big, like, only on PlayStation game. The Horizon Zero Dawn announcement was really cool, I think. But I haven't really played the whole game or really played it all that much to really be like, wow, DLC for a game I've hardly played. Looks cool. So, my excitement is not really super high, as you can tell, but for that. But, and I think the most disappointing press conference to me was probably Bethesda's because it wasn't really, like, I was watching other people's blog, like MXR's blog, about the event. It was cool. If you went to the Bethesda Carnival, it was a whole bunch of cool stuff. Great environment to be in. A lot of Fallout and Skyrim and all the different IPs, themed stuff, and drinks and all this other stuff, and whatever you want to buy, kind of merchandising stuff. And it was cool if you went there. It looks like it was really fun if you went there, but the press conference for everybody else around the country that wasn't actually at the Bethesda event was kind of like, I wouldn't say it was stale. I think it was kind of like, we're kind of stuck in this kind of sequel thing, and we have been for a long time where it's just a sequel. And Wolfenstein 2, great game. I really like the original game. It's a sequel. Evil Within 2. Heard good things about the first game. It had its problems, like a lot of games do. But now that game honestly looked pretty cool to me because it almost seemed like it was like its own game, really. Like it was like it almost looked like it was a new IP if you watched the trailer. So I think that's like whoa, But that to me could definitely be an interesting game. I never played the first game. First game didn't really interest me all that much, but I think the second game looks pretty cool. The paid mod system, the Creation Club thing. You have to see a wait on that one. My biggest disappointment with that whole press conference, make it one of my most disappointing press conferences of the whole thing, was that we have to let go of Skyrim. Skyrim was a fantastic, or is still a fantastic game. I like it. I play it from time and time again. It's a cool game, okay? But we have to kind of let Skyrim go. We have to not continuously bring it back all the time. We have to stop. It's had a great run. It's 6 years. The modding community has really brought it. Almost continuously keeps it going. And maybe on a small way you can blame the modding community because it seems like they never let the game just fade off into obscurity. They always want to make new stuff for it. And I'm not blaming them. I don't want to blame them because I love the modding community. I mean, they've made Skyrim into a much better game than it was when it first came out in 2011. So I never feel like it's necessary to blame them. I feel like they should continue to do what they love, continue making great mods for the game. But I feel like Bethesda as a company needs to let it go. They have to let it go. They have to say, you know what, Skyrim was a great game. We did great work with it. The modding community is really just taking off and they're doing their own thing with it. And that's cool. And they can just continue to do what they're doing. But we need to work on the next game. Because people want another Elder Scrolls game. ESO is cool, but ESO is ESO. It's not a dedicated, game. Even though you can play the whole thing by yourself, it's still not. It's not a traditional Elder Scrolls RPG, and I feel like we really need to kind of either broadcast that louder or. I always used to wonder. I'm not a developer. I don't understand how the hierarchy of scheduling on games works. And I always thought that if you have enough really big IPs that people want to see more of, then you focus your efforts more on that versus on a lot of other things that people didn't ask for. Because nobody really asked for Skyrim to be on the Switch. Now, I'm not knocking the aspect of Skyrim on the Switch could be quite cool, but then again, it's like, okay, Skyrim on the Switch. I mean, it's Skyrim on the Switch. We've been here before, guys. So I don't know what to really make of it, honestly. But I feel like we have to let Skyrim go. We have to let Skyrim go. We just have to. We have to let it go. We can't, just really, well, not so much we have to let it go, they have to let it go. So we just they just need to let Skyrim go. Just let it go. Because it's been 6 years. We want a new Elder Scrolls game. ESO is cool, but we want a new Elder Scrolls game, and we just need to see that. That's like the most disappointing conference of it was that because it was just nothing but sequels. It was all about the numbers, and a lot of the press conferences were very about the numbers. I think really with the Microsoft press conference, there was a lot of cool stuff at that press conference. Every press conference had something cool, but the pizzazz of the event kind of felt kind of like. When I was a kid, it was like really amazing when you're watching all these streams and doing the whole theatrical element of it. And this year was very kind of like by the numbers, and I think that's probably mainly because of just the fact that a lot of these big companies have either their own events that they have, just around their own brand also. So there's no need to really bring everything you got to E3 and just dump it all on everybody. I used to love these incredible information dump weeks where we didn't know anything about these games, and then for 1 week we're just drowning in information. I felt like it was kind of scarce this year, and it was very scarce. It didn't feel quite as heavy as it used to feel, but but I don't know. I probably just pretty much just turned the camera on and just ranted. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about E3. Let me, yeah, I tripped over my words. Let me know if you like this format or you don't like this format, or you want me to go back to gameplay with an anonymous voice, with just over audio. Yeah, so, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and have a good one.